So, do guys actually feel there aren't any good women left? Female here, this is obviously in reference to heterosexual relationships. I've seen a lot of guys say that they struggle to find good women. Please help me understand this. I feel there are so many great single women, even ones that I know. I only know a few single guys, period. When we filter for great guys, the number reduces even more. I hear women all over talk about this. Do guys feel that this is not true? What would a good woman be in your opinion? Do you actually feel there aren't many great women? Or were the comments on this anomalies? Thanks. Story 1. The more you are true, warm, intelligent, without addictions, and secure, the fewer people you can accept, and the fewer people are right for you. It applies to both sexes. Story 2. Honestly, I just want to find a woman who wants an equal relationship that has mutual effort, mutual affection, mutual support, and builds an emotionally supportive environment for both of us. Apparently, that's really hard to find. Edit for clarification. I'm not discussing the division of household tasks. That is a separate conversation. As a man who has been living by myself for a while, I am fully capable and accustomed to doing all the household tasks myself. I'm discussing mutual work in the development and maintenance of the emotional connection within the relationship. I should not be the only one planning dates. I should not be the only one displaying affection. I should not be the only one initiating physical contact. I should not be the only one initiating intimacy. I should not be the only one courting. I should not be the only one seducing. I should not be the only one giving compliments. And I definitely should not be the only one providing an emotionally safe space to be vulnerable in. I should be marveling at why you like me, love me, find me attractive or desirable. Not if. I should be able to feel like I'm involved in a mutual relationship. That is what I'm referring to. That is hard to find. Finding someone to help with relationship maintenance, not a chores partner. Story 3. I know loads of great women. I know almost no great men. It's almost as if men and women are looking for different things and thus measure great completely differently. Story 4. I do think most people, in general, men and women, are at least decent human beings who either are good or have the potential to be good people. However, I do not think most people would be good partners. It wouldn't make sense for most people to be good partners since everybody is looking for certain aspects that other people prioritize or see differently. Also, I see a trend of people who want a relationship so badly, but they do not have any ambition to work on themselves to get it. They just want to be loved for free. Just my 2 cents. Story 5. There are tons of wonderful women out there, but I will be damned if I am going to give what little I have left of myself to 100 bad ones on my search for them. Better off staying home with my cat watching The Grinch. Story 6. I feel there are so many great single women, even those I know. Of course, you do, it's confirmation bias. You also don't know how those women interact in relationships. Men tend to do that too, and we still hear the question, where are all the good men? To be honest, a lot of women rate themselves as amazing catches when they are average, like the rest of us. You all ladies even support each other. A good woman will be based on preferences. Some men like nurturing women, some men like dominant mothers, etc. A good woman to me won't be to another. Yes, honestly, I think there are many okay women, just as there are many okay men. That bare minimum stuff that women say men need to meet. A good portion of women don't even meet and want it or seem to think they are amazing for doing it. Story 7. I'm tired of being lied to, being cheated on, being taken advantage of, and being treated poorly. So a simple, easy definition. A good woman is just someone who is honest and faithful, that's it. If you want to sleep around, then tell me you want an open relationship or some alternative relationship. Don't lie to me and tell me you want a commitment and then turn around and sleep with other people. I'm open to either relationship. Just be honest about what you want. I'd like to meet all these good single women you were talking about, because they are nowhere to be found around me. Story 8. All I really want is a woman who will bring peace to my world, or at the very least won't bring unrest. I just run into too many damaged women who expect me to atone for the sins of all the men who came before me. Story 9. No, there are many great women out there. Of course, they are not single. They are in long-term, committed relationships. Because they are so great, so of course they already have a partner. Every time I meet a good-looking, fun to be with, easy to talk to, funny, intelligent, sweet, and caring woman, she inevitably turns out to be already taken. Story 10. I am middle-aged and married to a great woman, but if or when this ends, I will not date again. Everyone else just seems fake and has too much baggage. My wife loved me when I had nothing and was nothing. I doubt I could find something genuine like that again. Story 11. The criteria you use for a great woman probably aren't the same as those used by men looking for partners or just for someone to date without being used up. Also, you say you feel there are so many great single women. What's that feeling based on? Or is it just a feeling? Story 12. Well, as someone who is disabled, I don't think there are a lot of good women. All the ones with whom I've been in relationships fall into a couple of broad categories. Either they feel like they're doing me a favor by being with me, or they hate themselves so much that they are settling for me because I'm all they can get. This has been borne out by the reactions of their families. What are you doing with that guy? You could do so much better. Or pity, because they feel that she has now sunk so low as to be with a blind guy. I was with a girl who refused to be on the phone with me or mention me to her family as well. She said it was for other reasons, but I could not help but think it was because she was ashamed that she was with some blind guy and didn't want to deal with her family's reactions. Women want a man they see as their equal or even superior. If you go through life thinking you are superior to someone disabled, however unconsciously, and get in a relationship with them, that innate sense of superiority is going to come out in a lot of little ways. For me, it manifested in things like, "You can't tell me I'm beautiful. How would you know?" Or little snipes about how life would be so much easier if I could drive. Or doubting my abilities for something like cooking. Or basically treating me like I did not have the right to have feelings, that only their feelings matter. This is why, should I ever decide to go for another relationship, I'm going to see if I can find another blind or otherwise disabled woman. I'm tired of this nonsense. There's a line a lot of women use. Men are like parking spaces. All the good ones are taken and the only ones left are the handicapped. It's a joke, but they really mean it too. Story 13. The issue with women tends to be more in the attitudes, expectations, and demands of the men they date these days. There are many women who range from average to very attractive that I wouldn't date. They just come off as entitled and unrealistic about what they are expecting from a partner. At least they do to me. That said, when I've been looking, I've always been able to find someone relatively easily if I put the effort in, but it does require quite a bit of filtering. However, there are literally thousands of single guys on the dating apps. In fact, there are more men than women on almost all of them. It's not a shortage of men at all. It's a shortage of the men most women have decided they want and feel they deserve. Women frankly have higher standards than men do on average. That creates the supply and demand issue they experience. Story 14. I know there are a lot of good women. If you say there are none, then either you're living under a rock or you need to broaden your horizons. But as a guy, I realized it's hard to find just because we're not in the same starting position. A woman just has to look pretty to get dates. A guy needs to earn money, be mature, be charming, be caring, stoic, and so on to get dates from girls. I myself was also not getting dates until I was happy with my life and looking for a partner to share my happy life with. Then the dates poured in like crazy. After I got a lot of dates, I could start filtering out the great women and the average women until I could find one I really felt I'm great with. To achieve this status, though, I had to work on myself for 10 years to be very comfortable with myself. In summary, it's harder for men to date around because they need to achieve more compared to women, and good women won't pick mediocre men. Story 15. I know this is Ask Men, but I just wanted to bring up a point that we may not be considering. I don't think the algorithms used on the dating apps are really meant to promote people meeting. I think the algorithms are meant to get people to try to upgrade their membership. Men are more likely to pay for a membership than women, so it's likely you won't be shown some of the higher perceived profiles unless you pay for the membership. Just a theory. Story 16. 1. Men and women judge potential partners by different standards. Many women assess men by their financial situation, but for most men, all a woman needs financially is to not bring a large amount of debt that we could end up being partially or entirely responsible for paying off. 2. I remember seeing people talk about a survey where they asked men and women if they would date someone who meets 80% of their criteria for a perfect partner. Most men responded with an enthusiastic yes, while most women said no because it would be settling. There are also examples of men asking women what they thought were the average statistics, height, weight, income, etc. for a man, and the answers they gave represented the top 10% or less of the male population for each statistic. Men who meet all their criteria, or even the 80% that we have established most women surveyed would consider to be settling, make up less than 1% of the population. Story 17. I feel there are so many great single women even that I know. I only know a few single guys, period. When we filter for great guys, the number reduces even more. I hear women all over talk about this. Do guys feel that this is not true? There are many great women out there. They largely pair up with dudes early, marry, and are living their lives in happy relationships in which they have shared interests, open communication, and lots of public displays of affection. Then there are others who are happy being single in their lives, who are equally great women. What would a good woman be in your books? Of course, not niche preferences. One with whom we both share values, can communicate issues, where insecurities are addressed and not allowed to grow, and most importantly, one we both feel committed to. Do you actually feel there aren't many great women? Or were the comments on this anomalies? Laugh out loud. See first comments response. Story 18. I don't know about great women. Women, almost universally, are nice to me and laugh at my jokes. That's all I really need from most women, so they're good enough. A right woman for me is different. I've never found one of those. Story 19. Female's version of a good woman is different from a man's definition. That's why you feel your single friends are good women, but men may not. Best advice for singles? Do not listen to what your same-sex friends say, especially if they are also single. Do not listen to your same-sex married friends either because they oversimplify it. Get to know the opposite sex as a friend and build your own relationship. Story 20. I've seen the dating pool for years, and it just keeps getting worse as time goes on. I don't think the great women out there are going to still be single by my age, mid-30s. I don't expect much. Instead of pointless mind games and giving the silent treatment, understand that I'm not you and that's okay. Actually communicate with me. As a twin, I can confirm that telepathy isn't real. The closest you'll ever get to that is understanding someone's thought process enough to predict only some of their thoughts, which can take years of being around them. Show that you understand that loyalty works both ways, and show the respect you want to be given. Story 21. The problem isn't a lack of good men or women. It is that most people treat relationships like cell phone plans. Keep this one until I can upgrade in a year or two. Story 22. There are good women. I have 4 female friends, all of whom are in their 30s, have professional careers, and they're smart, nice, and good-looking. They've all been single for ages. They all want to marry and have kids. However, they're all looking for Mr. Perfect. One of them is model-level good-looking, and she even went on an organized singles holiday and said she didn't meet anyone she liked. She almost certainly could have the pick of nearly any man there. Her particular case is the most extreme. She's never had a boyfriend. She doesn't want to have test relationships. She wants to find one guy and marry him. She's so lonely and unhappy. I feel sorry for her. She has so much choice, but she's trapped herself with this unrealistic ideal of how a relationship should work out. I'm guessing that because all 4 are successful and good-looking, they've convinced themselves they should be able to get a guy that ticks all their boxes. However, they don't realize just how few men there are that meet those standards. Story 23. The dating process for finding my wife was absolutely brutal, and I never want to go back. My overall feeling thinking about the entire experience is overwhelming disgust. Women aren't interested in finding a partner. They are more like a panel judge in a talent show like The Voice or America's Got Talent, and all of us men are just there to put on an entertaining show for them, while they string us along with confusing mixed messages and half communications, wasting our time while they are dating multiple men at the same time and comparing us like they're trying on different sets of clothes or shoes in a department store. I'm not a set of clothing you try on for size while you're also trying on a pile of other men for size. I'm a human being trying to find a compatible partner, and that requires effort on your end, not just mine. When I finally met my wife, I had to really be careful about whether I was actually interested in her and we were compatible, or if I was dating her, because after this innumerably long string of self-absorbed people, I had finally found a woman who was mature enough to say out loud, "I want to get married. I am looking for a husband, so if that's not your end goal here, then we should just cut things short right now and go our separate ways." Music to my ears. I swear I was at the point where I was going to start just getting up and leaving first dates if I heard another variation on the words, "I don't want to get too serious, I just want to have fun, and just see what's out there and live for right now. Sorry, not sorry, we are not here for the same things. Text me when you grow up. Goodbye." I had actually decided I was going to take down my profiles and delete my accounts when my wife messaged me and we could actually arrange our shift schedules to get together. One of us was always seeing someone when the other one was single, so we didn't get together until several months after our initial contact. She was at the same point. Okay, fine. I'll give this one last match a chance and that's it. I'm done. And we both came into the date with the same energy of a frustrated police detective aggressively questioning a suspect. I often joke and say it was like Batman and Joker in The Dark Knight minus the physical violence. Christian Bale Batman voice. Who are you? Why are you here? Why are you still single? Do you want to get married? When? How many children do you want? When? When do you want them? Are you seriously looking? Or are you wasting my time? The entire process of dating up to that point felt like auditioning for a role or applying and interviewing for a job, and then as part of that, being an entertainer competing for the approval of this judge who didn't seem to even really care about getting to know me or anything that I wanted. They just wanted to be entertained.